So here we are, the first couple days of December, and in Texas, gardening never ends. Just in the summer, we prepare 365 days. So I'm already getting a jump start for the spring of next year because it will be here soon enough. So before, if you've seen some of my other videos, you've known that we've had the containers here. And here's the cardoons that are still in the containers. I had to move them out of the way. We'll probably pick these and eat these pretty soon. But this area here is where we had all those containers on the sunny side of the backyard. But now, since those plants are done, I've moved them out of the way, and I'm replacing them with more of a permanent structure, this being a raised garden bed. Containers are good, but they're really hard to do and maintain when you do so many. So these containers, I think, will help the time and effort involved. And so what I've done here is, from the old containers, I dumped out the dirt here and kind of made a good foundation. So also I didn't have to then use so much dirt to fill these up. These are 12 inches high and they're 3 feet long. Of course, kind of the standard is the 4 feet wide, but you know, we don't have all that many long arms, so kind of keeping them 3 feet wide is perfect for kind of getting around or even getting from one side of the container. Now, the dirt in here, I had some garden soil still left over from my previous delivery. It's a mixture of sand and topsoil, and it's kind of like a garden soil mix I get at a local soil place. It's pretty good stuff. But I also kind of supplement this also here. I basically use this as a 12 feet by 3 feet, as I said, and I put about 1 bag each in here of peat moss. So a little of the dirt, a little of the peat moss. I threw a little bit of the vermiculite in here just to air it out, the perlite, because I get rid of that bag. And then I put in a little azomite, little rock dust, little dried molasses, just to kind of kick things off. So this will sit here and percolate all winter. I'll probably top it off because, you know, it's going to compact and go down a little bit, so I'll probably have to top it off with a little bit more soil, and then probably by February, maybe March, we can start planting here. Now the cool thing is, as you notice, the hoop houses that we made. Now I moved these out of the way because they were sitting over there. Now the hoop houses are 4 feet wide. So kind of the neat thing that I think we're going to be able to do is top that off with dirt, put the hoop houses over it, and then put the plastic, if you notice that we've done here for our winterization, put the plastic over, and we could get an early start at some of the tomatoes and other crops, peas and whatnot. So, you know, we've had some warm weather. I mean, it's almost 80 degrees here in Texas, and like I say, it's December 2nd. So things are, you know, doing well. I mean, even the things under the plastic, I probably didn't really need to cover it. The nights go down to about 40s and 50s, but right now it's been getting very warm. So this week, though, I think we're gonna get colder in the night. We still haven't had our first frost yet, so that's why you'll notice that as I've pulled up some of the other things that were definitely done, I'm still kind of holding out hope here for these last 2 tomato plants, because I'd like to see them get ripe, and there's a few here I can pick. So the little container, you know, if we had a little bit better weather, I think these would grow up even faster, but it's getting close. I don't know if they'll ripen, but I'm just holding out because they don't hurt anything here. Now what I'm going to do here in this space, as you see I'm clearing it out, I'll put another row of raised beds. So I'll have 2 raised beds here, I'll have 2 more behind it, and maybe 1.5 behind it here. Now this gets a lot of sun, so I'm going to have to plant plants here that can be done in the spring, be done by May, like the tomato plants, by the middle end of May, and then get right around and maybe plant something here for the summer in June, July, or maybe just prepare a winter garden. One thing we notice is that this gets full sun here even in the winter. The other side of the fence over there, it gets shade, so we kind of didn't really put our winter crops in the right location. I'll just give you a quick buzz around here. This is where the sweet potatoes were and the sunchokes, and they did really well. And I got the vines here just kind of mulching up. What I'll do is get some raised beds for the back here, and I will put the sweet potatoes and sunchokes back here in this corner. It did really well, so we'll just let them grow back here again. Of course, the blackberries are doing fine. You know, it's winter, so they're going dormant, but in the spring I hope to see them come up. Still got to put a little mulch on top of the ground here just to kind of keep that all nice. And of course I put the mulch around to keep the grass. That's the biggest thing, is that Texas grass creeps, so it's going to be a constant fight to pull it back from getting too close to those beds. Once it gets in those garden beds, you're done for. You're pulling weeds and grass forever if you don't stay on top of it. Now the trees are all losing their leaves, and so this is free mulch. When you think of back to Eden gardening and stuff like that, all these leaves out here are going to be mulch and make this ground really nice. Kind of that would be the experiment here. So lots of leaves, lots of leaves. Under the plastic here, we got the fruit trees and the trees that, you know, are susceptible to cold. It's a little moisture there, but they look like they're doing okay. I need to get a thermometer, measure the temperature there between the 75 outside and what it is in there. The pineapple plants, I didn't put these in here quick enough, and when it got a little bit colder in the 40s, 50s a night or two, it kind of burnt the tips of those. So I think the roots are fine. I definitely have to transplant those. Those need to be in a container like the cardoons, the 20-gallon. Right now they're in a 10, and they're just outgrowing that. So hopefully these plants will last good here. Give you a walk around here. The blueberry plant, still nice plant, but no blueberry, unfortunately. So I do something differently. The last of the jalapenias, till they get that frost, they're really growing. And boy, I'm going to have like 4 or 5 plants out of this one here because they've done so well. In a small container, funny enough, and under this spot, which gets in partial shade. The flower beds are all here. We'll put flowers directly into the bed here in the spring. And on this side, we got the holdouts, the carrots, some dill, garlic, doing really well. So the garlic probably will be good come spring. We got that in there. Like I say, here it gets too much shade, so the winter crops just didn't do so well. The winter crops are going to have to go on the other side. Here it's just all shade. It's too bad that we didn't realize it. Look at these tomatoes. I mean, this is December 2nd, and they're green. And look at that. Look at all the little tomatoes. If this week gets cold, it might do them in. But boy, if I had a little bit more sunny space and a little bit more, I mean, whoever thought of growing tomatoes up into December if you don't live out in California or Florida, right? But in Texas, you know, we're really shortchanging ourselves. We got good long growing seasons, and as long as you position them right, get them the sun and the water and the nutrients, and cover it, you'll be fine. All right, and this is of course the failed experiment. The shade side of the house in the summer, boy, this gets sun, all afternoon sun all the way down here, and then by the middle of August, it's done and it's shade 24/7. And of course, all the stuff that I planted here, thinking, hey, look, I'm going to do containers and use this wasted empty space, and it all went for naught. So I either need to grow something that doesn't need sun, which what vegetable really doesn't, I don't know, or I might have to pick these up and move them into the sunny area. I just don't want to dig stuff out. It's heavy and whatnot. But anyways, that's kind of the tour here. Here's the old potato buckets. They did really well, and maybe I'll use them for something in the spring. The brown cherry is still kind of pumping out here. It still hasn't died, although it's looking pretty bad, but there's a few here. See, brown cherry. And then the Egyptian walking onions, I put them in this container. Again, they get a lot of shade. They haven't gotten those tall tops, and they haven't, you know, done what they normally do. So kind of a failed experiment in wrong position. I think I need a little bed, raised bed for those. But anyways, that's about it here for December 2nd. Like I say, we have to put seeds and grow lights and everything get going here, because before you know it, we're going to be planting spring. It's you know, perpetual garden if we really tried. So I really got to get a move on. And you know, when you're working a full-time job, you only got the weekends really to come in here and do a little bit before that's it. So the way I look at it, you do a little bit each weekend. I got vacation coming up, and then when the spring, this dirt hopefully will be good. Plant it, water it, and then I don't have to do so much hard work, because gardening is supposed to be fun and not a constant manual dig. So anyways, that's the update here, and we will see you once again. Thank you for watching our videos.